Hello guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Nathan. I'm from Zim. I live in the UK. I am 18. I'm young, all that stuff. Today I wanted to talk to you about how you should deal with living in an African household as a young African or a teenage African. How to start your life out as an African. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of people in African households, especially kids and the youth, are living in this African household environment. And if we're all being honest, it's a negative environment. There's a lot of shouting in the house. There's a lot of chaos in the house. There's a lot of noise. And there's a lot of things that are unable to make you focus in your own household. Right? Now, for me, I was very fortunate because my parents put my interests first before chaos, before noise, before shouting, before them expressing their emotions. They thought that if we do this, how will this impact our child? I am very fortunate to have such parents. As someone who's young, you have to understand that people are not perfect. Your parents are not perfect. No one is perfect. You're not perfect. You've got your flaws. I've got my flaws. We all have our flaws. And you have to understand compromise. If you're at home and your mom decides to come to you and start shouting, don't react. Don't shout. Don't retaliate. Remember, you need to respect your parents. It says it in the Bible. Respect your parents. Humble yourself. Even if she's wrong or she's doing what she's doing for whatever reason, because you know how African parents are. Just keep your head down and do as you're told. And I know a lot of you will be like, no, a lot of you guys would disagree with me, which is fine. But when you do what I've just said for long enough, you'll end up realizing that you're protecting your peace. And also you'll end up realizing that your parents are less on your case, because most of the time, especially if it's your mom causing the chaos, they do it to get a reaction out of you. A lot of African parents they also went through a tough childhood. So they believe that their child must also go through a tough childhood. Most of the time. Not all of the time, but most of the time. So parents just reflect what was brought onto them to their kids. And when they do that, they will only stop once they see a reaction out of you. Once they see that you're uncomfortable or that you're unhappy and upset, like how they were when they were kids, then they'll be like, okay, I've done my job, I can stop now. So learn to control your emotions. I think that's the most important thing. Learning how to control your emotions under pressure, learning how to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. These are the most important things you can do for yourself. Because when you apply all of these things that I say, or that I'm saying, you will see that there's more peace within yourself and there's more peace in the household. The other thing I wanted to talk about is how to stop noise, how to cut off all that negative thinking and negative mindset that is happening in your household. If you've watched this channel, then you know that I talk about building peace with yourself, building a relationship with yourself, and loving yourself. If you haven't seen my videos, please go back and go through my channel and just watch a few stuff. You'll see what I talk about. This channel is mainly focused on people that live in Africa. If you're an African, please check out my channel. Go through it. You'll see all the stuff. Learn to cut out the noise. Learn to separate what's happening with them to what's happening with whatever you're doing, whether you're studying, whether you're building a business, whether you're building something for yourself, or whether you're focusing on something for yourself. Learn to cut that noise out, because trust me, you doing that is not just a childhood thing, but it's something that you're going to carry for the rest of your life. It's something that you're going to remember and a skill that you're going to implement in your future. Learn to separate family problem with personal problems. Learn to separate family problems with work or with anything that is going to affect the future of your life. Because most of the time, problems in African households limit the African youth. And it's a very sad thing to see. Because what I've noticed is that young people are not taught everything. They're taught what they know from their parents, not from other people, not from anyone outside of their family. Yes, they learn things from people outside of their family, but most of the time, it's not things that will affect the future of your life. Like learning how to control your emotions, learning how to keep your head down and to push forward. You don't learn that stuff from your parents. You don't learn how to cut problems out from your parents that they're causing. Most African parents never apologize to their kids. My parents, they've apologized to me because I'm fortunate enough to have parents that care, you know. But most of you guys, your parents can do the worst thing to you and they won't say anything. Yes, they know that they've done something bad, but they'll pretend as if they didn't even recognize anything and just keep doing whatever they do. And you're just there with that mental trauma, that mental headache. So learn to cut out the noise, learn to dedicate focus to a skill or to something you're building or to your studies, whatever it is you're doing, And also another thing is when problems happen in your household, don't resort to negative things. Don't resort to distractions, to things that are going to negatively impact your life. Don't resort to such things. If you're going through a lot at home and you're vaping, don't do that. And if you're currently doing it, I don't expect you to stop immediately. But I just hope you can realize what I'm saying is that vaping has negative effects, like everyone says, right? Vaping has negative effects to your health, to your life, and to your lifespan. Whether the research is true or not, the reason I say that it has negative effects is because you're relying on something. Never be in that position to rely on something so that you feel comfortable. If you're on this channel a lot, you know that I talk about things like that. To never rely on something just so that you feel comfortable and safe with yourself. If you're vaping, if you're smoking, if you're doing drugs, if you're anything that is, what you're doing. Anything that is negatively impacting your life. If you're hanging around the wrong friends, if you're drinking alcohol, if you're in the wrong friend group, if you're with the wrong people when bad things happen, if you're with one person when you're upset and then you go through a negative part with them, whether it's a male or female, if you're in a relationship that's based off of negativity and talking bad about people, or whether it's your friend or your partner or whatever, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it is you're doing, don't be in that type of life, of trauma bonding with people. I can't imagine myself. This is a bobby pin. It's not a vape, but let's say this was a vape. I can't imagine myself whenever I'm having problems to look for this and to vape it. Do you know what I mean? I cannot imagine myself doing that. This would be a negative thing in my life because I am running to it to feel safe. The moment that this thing is not there, what am I gonna go to? That's why I say vaping is negative. There is a lot of research on vaping, but to be honest, whether it's true or not, the fact that you have to rely on this to feel comfortable in your own headspace. By the way, your head is the most important thing. Your mindset and your mind is the most important thing that you can control. And you're allowing yourself to rely on this. You're allowing your mind to rely on this. This means that your mind is controlled by this when you really deep it, when you really think about it. This vape, it's not a vape, but this device that I'm relying on is controlled by my mind. And that's what a lot of you guys are doing. Whether it's vaping, whether it's alcohol, drugs, smoking, friends, relationships, people. Don't do it. Stop. And if you're currently doing it, I don't expect you to stop immediately. Take your time to stop. Just make sure that you stop. Whether you take a year to stop all these things and to cut them off from your life, depending on how long you've been doing them, just try to stop. Make the effort. Don't resort to these negative things. they're not good for you. Previously, I spoke on controlling your mind. You need to have full control of your mind. If you're a man, you need to learn how to control your emotions. If you're angry and next thing you're punching something, come on, man. What are you doing? You're not in control of yourself. Men are very dangerous. If you're a man, you know that you're dangerous. To some degree, you're a weapon. That's just the truth. You could cause violence, you could cause chaos, you can cause pain to someone, and you can even kill someone. You're a man, you're a weapon, and you can't control yourself. And if you're watching this video and you're a man and now you feel like you're some sort of weapon because I said it, relax yourself. But yeah, you're a man and you're a weapon. Control your emotions, control your headspace, control yourself. If you're a female, learn to control your emotions. I know females are more emotional creatures and more emotional people, more emotional beings, and they are, most of the time, females are loyal to their emotions, right? Which I understand, it's part of hypergamy, but learn to control your emotions. Learn to control the way you react to things. Don't be emotional and make wrong decisions. Don't do that to yourself. Be emotional and learn to control those emotions so that when things get tough, you don't rely on this. Whether you're a man, if you're a man and you're relying on this, if you're a female and you're relying on this, stop. Stop. It's very simple. My videos on my channel are very, very easy to understand. Very, very clear. Very, very easy. Straight to the point. It's so straight to the point that sometimes people watching can feel offended. That's how straight to the point it is. It's not that difficult to understand, but people find it difficult because they are lying to themselves. If let's say you're overweight, right? For example, let's say you're an overweight person. There's nothing wrong with being overweight, right? But just because I called you an overweight person, you're offended. But imagine if you were overweight and now I came to you and said that you're overweight. What's the plan to lose the weight? It means that you would have accepted that you're overweight, but you're not accepting it. You're lying to yourself saying, no, I'm not overweight. So you haven't even thought of a course of action or a plan to stop you from being overweight. So stop lying to yourself. For the females, stop being delusional. Be real with yourself. For my guys, for my homies, be truthful to yourself and be a man of honor. Live by your word. If you are in a relationship and you're cheating on your partner or whatever, you're not a man of honor. You're not a man of your word. You're someone who's not in control of your life. If you're an abusive person, you're not a man of honor. You're not a man of your word. You're someone who's controlled by your emotions. You're not in control of your mind. Get control over your mind. Control it. Be disciplined. Be focused. Be steady. Make plans that actually help you. Don't become this weapon of mass destruction. Imagine, like, in this video, I said that men are weapons. Whether you're weak, whether you're strong, all men are weapons, right? The reason I say this is because men can cause harm to someone. Anyone can cause harm to someone. I know there are people that will say, no, I'm a female, I can cause harm. What? Man, just disregard that. I'm talking about the men here. If you're a man, you can cause harm to someone. You can go and whack them like that. You're a weapon. Now imagine if, let's say, Let's say I'm going to make a country up because I don't want political problems. But let's say you're a country from Bedika land or whatever, right? It's a country I made up. Let's say you're a country from Bedika land and you had the most dangerous weapons of warfare in the world. You've got the biggest nuclear bomb and the biggest atomic bombs and hydrogen bombs and gas bombs and all into one nuclear missile with 1 million warheads or whatever. And you can't control that bomb. That bomb is a weapon, and that bomb it's not controlled. It just goes off. Imagine the destruction that it could cause because it's not controlled. It can't be controlled. Just imagine. This is how life is like for a man. Learn to control your emotions. It's a really important thing, because if you don't, you become a weapon of mass destruction to yourself, to the people around you, and to your family, your friends, your siblings, everyone in your life, especially yourself. There's a movie that I watched yesterday. No, 2 days ago. I watched it with my girlfriend. It was called Waves. The movie was called Waves. This movie was about a boy, an 18-year-old boy. He lived in the States. He was American. He was a black American. He played football, got an injury. His mom, he's adopted, so he's not adopted, but his parents were, his dad was the biological dad, and then his dad found another woman and raised him and the sister because his mom died to an overdose. So now he got an injury, right? He couldn't play American football, and now he got depressed, and then his girlfriend got pregnant. Then he got even more depressed and resorted to drugs, right? Maybe this could be something that he did because his mother did the same thing. Don't adapt things from your parents. But yeah, his mother did the same thing and resorted to drugs. So he resorts to drugs. Then his girl gets pregnant and decides that she wants to keep the baby. And he gets angry about it, goes to a party and kills her. Off of emotions. Go watch that movie if you have not watched that movie. After watching that movie, you'd feel weird. Like, you'd feel upset. I felt upset after watching that movie, but it opened my eyes. You know, this man was not in control of his emotions. What did he do? Killed someone. Killed his girlfriend. And he was spending he spent life in jail. Control your emotions. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you watched the whole way through this video, then you have an attention span of steel. And as always, from Africa to the world, let's build wealth.